into TDN Against The Spread. Paige DeMacos, Jake Arians, Jamie Eisner. Guys, welcome in. It's the week before Christmas. How we feeling? Jake, you first. He's got ambiance going on behind him. He's really setting the mood for the week. I was hoping for some Christmas lights, but we've at least got some lights going on in the
I could
background.
change the color for you. I can go Christmas in a heartbeat. Yeah, the office is coming together nice. Life is good, man. It's 34 degrees at the low in Arizona. It feels like Christmas.
That's not the norm, but you
No.
will take it in AZ. Jamie, how we
Definitely feeling
doing?
like Christmas here in Chicago. Got our first snow of the season, at least by the lake right now. So just cracking open a Kill Cliff here and
My
enjoying
guy.
our descent into Christmas week and the craziness that is online shopping this year in this COVID world.
Yes, it's definitely been a interesting year. I think we're all looking forward to 2021, but happy to be at this juncture of the NFL season because man, oh man, it just seems like a little bit of a blessing that we got ourselves to this point and we're headed on an upwards trajectory. So excited to talk football with you guys. Let's kick things off with the AFC West matchup on Thursday Night Football. And that's going to lead us into our player prop topic here today, Jamie, that you have. And you like Jalen Richard over 1.5 catches. So why do you like this one in tonight's matchup?
Yeah, he missed a little bit of time in the middle of the season. Last 2 weeks has kind of been getting back into the groove of things. Last week in particular, he actually outsnapped Devontae Booker. So was a number 2 running back for the Raiders in terms of snaps. Josh Jacobs has been banged up a little bit these last few weeks. 5 targets, 4 catches last week for him. So I was surprised to see this prop this low. This is a guy that's averaged more than 2 catches a game from the start of last season through week 5 of this season. So I think that's a pretty low number and a pretty good opportunity because I think the Raiders are going to have to throw this ball a lot because their defense is going to be problematic for them. So their offense is going to have to keep them in it till the very end.
Jake, you like this player prop in tonight's matchup on Thursday Night Football? What are you thinking in this Raiders and Chargers matchup?
I love this player prop and pay attention to my boy. He has been on fire with the player props lately. Jamie has been unbelievable. Don't just look at today's show. Go follow him on Twitter and get all of his stuff before Sunday because he's been absolutely amazing. I'm going to ride with the Raiders tonight. I love this player prop because they say Josh Jacobs is healthy. Booker's still getting some touches, but Richard always plays. And to get 2 catches, I think this is going to be a close game. I'm going to ride with the Raiders 27-23 on the strength of Derek Carr. And I think they get back to the running game. They've only averaged 70 yards a game, and they were averaging 140 for the first 9 the last few weeks. I think they get back on track with that. And look, Herbert's going to play well, but this Chargers team is still finding ways to lose. I know they won last week, but they literally gave it to the Falcons, who gave it back. So I'm going to ride with the Raiders to cover 27-23.
I tend to agree with you on this one, Jake. I think it's going to be a good matchup between these two divisional foes. But for word for the wise, don't act like Matthew Berry and don't get into fights with Josh Jacobs on Twitter. For those of you who have been paying attention to that, he apparently did not learn his lesson last year against the Arizona Cardinals. It's now time to talk underdogs. And for those of you who have not watched the show, let me set the scene here. The guys do not show me or themselves the picks. So for the first time, I am delivering these picks to you and I have not seen them. So I am pleased to read this pick from Jake. And that is the Chicago Bears as an underdog on the road playing the Minnesota Vikings at +3. So Jake, let's hear it. Why are the Bears the team that you like as the underdog this week?
Give me the Bears. Look, they're coming off a huge win last week, 36-7. This offense has looked tremendously upgraded the last 2 weeks with Mitchell Trubisky. Montgomery's going to run the ball. If the offense plays better, I love this defense staying off the field, staying fresh and doing what they did last week. They gave up a ton for a few weeks before that. And really, it's going to come down to turnovers. I like the Bears defense, the ability to get turnovers more than I like this Vikings ability to do it. I think it's a bit of a shootout. I'm not sure if they win, but if the offense can run the ball, keep Minnesota off the field, I like their chances of getting some turnovers with Kirk Cousins and having a chance to win this. I think it's going to be a really close game, interdivisional. And Trubisky and Nagy have owned the Lions, as Paige tells us all the time. I like this play. And like I said, it's going to come down to turnovers, but I like the ability for this offense to continue drives and keep that defense fresh. And I think they're going to get some turnovers because of it.
Yeah, there's 2 teams in the division that Matt Nagy has taken care of, and that is Minnesota and Detroit. Now they got them earlier in the year, but this is a different team over the last few weeks. So I'm feeling pretty confident in the Chicago Bears going to play Minnesota this week. Jamie, you are riding with Washington yet again. I looked at this line and I went, this is going to be one of those ones where Jamie's going to come in hot and he's going to tell me that the line is wrong. And I'm going to say, yeah, you know what, Jamie? I think you're right here because Seattle on the road at Washington as 5.5-point underdogs seems wrong to me, Jamie. Is that why you're taking this one?
Yeah, and this is predicated on Alex Smith starting this game, which is still up in the air right now as we're recording this show. But to me, I just look, the Seahawks probably can win this game. I don't think I'm going to pick them outright, but Washington's been playing really high level defensively all year. I read the stats to you last week. I'll read the updated stats to you this week. They're fourth in total defense, third in pass defense, ninth in rush defense, sixth in scoring defense. They are, that defensive line is just wreaking havoc right now. They're having a lot of success. Oh, and by the way, since Alex Smith took over as the starting quarterback in week 10, they're a top 10 offense in the NFL. So this is a team that can beat you multiple ways, even without Antonio Gibson. If Smith starts this game, you got a West Coast team going all the way to the East Coast again. Like they're 1-2 in those scenarios as favorites so far this year are the Seahawks. I think Washington can keep this one close and keep this a one-score game.
Man, it's hard for me to look at Seattle on the road as a 5.5-point favorite against really anybody at this point. Seattle's kind of been all over the place, and Washington has been a under the radar, low-key pretty good pick. And Jamie's picked him a couple of times and had success, so I wasn't surprised to see that pick this week. The stayaways, these are picks we absolutely want nothing to do with, right? We're looking at this and we're going, no, thank you. We do not want to touch these picks. So Jake, you're looking at the Chiefs and the Saints, and I agree with you. This is one I really don't have a good feel for, so I'm guessing that's why you're staying away from this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you look at pretty much everybody that does a power ranking. This is 1-3, 1-4. This is two heavyweight champs, maybe the best team in the NFC. Could get Drew Brees back, maybe not. They're just too well coached, and that defense played really bad last week, not knowing what they were going to get from the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. I think they're going to bounce back. I don't know that they have enough to hang in there and slow down the Chiefs, and they haven't scored enough points on offense with Taysom Hill. But this Chiefs defense is overrated. We're thinking that it's the same group from the end of the season last year in the playoffs, and they're not. I can't get a feel for how this is going to be. New Orleans is at home. The Chiefs have played a bunch of close games. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes is going to turn it over again this week, which he damn well could against this defense, this could be an upset. It could be a really good game. I think the Chiefs are only favored by 3. This one's just, to me, I cannot get a feel for it. It's my stay away.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense when you're talking about two good football teams. And if Pat Mahomes turns the ball over, man, I don't know. That was an ugly game for Pat Mahomes last week. So let's see how he bounces back against the New Orleans Saints. Jamie, your stay away is a stay away of all time. Why? Because these two teams have played in some of the weirdest games I have ever watched over the last 5 to 7 years. And it seems like these two teams match up against each other way more often than they should. I don't know why it feels like they do, but they've played a lot against each other. And this Eagles team is, what are they, Jamie? I have no idea what we're going to get in this Jalen Hurts start 2.0. And the Cardinals looked like a better team last week, but had been skidding for 5 weeks in a row. So I'm guessing that's why you're looking at this going, no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, neither one of these teams is playing really great football right now. And normally I'd be like auto fade rookie quarterback in the second start because this is where the hype comes up. Now there's film on him. Defenses know how to prepare a full week to what to expect. They could see how the offense is going to get run in Philadelphia. But I just don't like the way the Cardinals have played overall. I'm still going to pick them to win this game, but this is a 7-point spread. I think that's given the Cardinals a lot of credit right now. But also the other side of me says the Eagles still have plenty of issues. They got that juice last week. They looked okay. They ripped off a couple big runs, but overall, both of these teams are still kind of where we thought they were to begin the year. To be from a few weeks ago. They just have one has a different starting quarterback. Will Kyler Murray be able to have some more success on the ground like he showed last week? Something he wasn't doing in the weeks prior. Just a way too many question marks for me for both of these teams to feel confident in a point spread that high.
Yeah, it's hard to come all the way back on the Cardinals after they beat that Giants team, right? Because Daniel Jones was very clearly injured out there playing football, and I don't know how much you can take away from that. So definitely going to be an interesting one. For this next topic on over-under, we will stick with that Eagles and Cardinals matchup for Jake, right? So he likes the over here in this matchup between the Eagles and the Cardinals. And if I was going to take something in that game, I think this makes the most sense. And why is that? Because I think there's going to be a lot of scoring all around. I think there could be some turnovers. I think there could be a lot of things that factor in here. Jake, is that what you're going with in the over here between these two teams?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's turnovers. You have two quarterbacks who instinctually want to run when the other team gets pressure. The Cardinals got a ton of pressure last week on Daniel Jones. Well, Jalen Hurts' instinct is going to be to take off. I'm not sure that you can blitz him. I think they're going to want to try to make him beat him with his arm. I think they're going to still have success running the ball with him and Miles Sanders. I think Miles Sanders had a huge week last week, which nobody was expecting, and we talked about a bunch. I think he has another big week running the ball. I think Jalen Hurts throws it okay. But you hit the nail on the head. I think it's turnovers from both teams. This Philadelphia team has been top 5 in pressure all year. The tape is out on what to do to Kyler Murray to blitz him, to keep him in the pocket. They don't necessarily have to blitz him to get that kind of pressure. Fletcher Cox is still a monster up the middle. Now, their secondary is weak, but I think all of this and all those turnovers lead to a ton of points. You're telling me, I loved it. I liked it a lot better at 47.5 than I do at 49.5 like it was earlier in the week, but I still like the over here.
All right, 49.5, you're still taking the over. Jamie's going an under, okay? He's taking an under, which might mean we get a weather report, but probably not. He's usually paying attention on the overs, right? I think this more has to do with the fact that the Jets are playing in this game, and the Rams are a pretty good defense. Jamie, is that where you were taking the under in this matchup between these two?
Certainly part of it. The Jets are only averaging 10.3 points per game on the road this year, and they've had 4 games with 9 or fewer points on the road. I mean, out of their 6. Like, that's abysmal, including a 0 at one point this year. But the other factor here is the Rams aren't putting up a ton of points at home, and that's been a theme all season. If you watched our shows about, 2.5 months ago, I kept bringing that up. Right now, they're only averaging 21.3 points per game at home, and they have no games inside of LA where they've scored more than 24 points. They're going to be able to handle the Jets pretty well, but I think they'll be content to take a multi-score lead and then just sit on the ball for a large portion of the second half. So I don't think we're going to get to the 30-plus points that I think you'd need from the Rams in order for this over to hit. So I'm going to take the under in this matchup.
All right, you've taken the under. It feels weird to talk about taking an under, but we're taking an under, and it involves the Jets. So I feel good about it because, yeah, as Jamie said, haven't been doing a whole lot of scoring, which isn't a whole lot of a big surprise if you are a Jets fan. All right, the last segment that we get into here is the most important segment. Those are the locks. It's time to talk about the locks of the week. Jake is up first, and he is taking the Dolphins -1 and the Niners -3. So first and foremost, you've officially migrated from your anger about Fitzmagic here to take the Dolphins in a game. So you got to start to talk about that. Dolphins -1 and then Niners -3.
I'm liking the fact that Tua doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He's turned it over a little bit because they've asked him to throw it so much more. And yes, it's a rookie quarterback going against Bill Belichick. But Belichick's not undefeated against rookie quarterbacks, and he's not always playing this Dolphins defense. I'm riding with the Fins here to win by 1 because this defense has become dominant. Cam Newton cannot throw the ball. You can run it a little bit on this Dolphins team, but Brian Flores knows this entire Patriots roster. He knows what's going on. That defense is playing phenomenal. I mean, they were great last week against Kansas City. We're not talking anywhere near that in the Patriots. All they got to do is kick a field goal. I think Sanders could hit 4 and win 12-10. It might be ugly. It might be low scoring, but I love the Fins in this one. The second one, give me Kyle Shanahan against whatever the hell is going on in Dallas, especially with that defense. You can run it down their throat. I don't care if Mostert plays, Wilson plays, they both play, McKinnon plays. They're going to have 300 yards rushing against the Cowboys, and they're winning by a lot more than 3. I got them winning by at least 7. That defense is dominant. You're not going to run it. Zeke's still banged up with the bruised calf, whatever's going on there. I love the Niners in this matchup. Yes, they're a little bit desperate. The Cowboys should have been desperate in week 3, but they're not. They still suck. Give me the Niners to run it down their throat.
Yeah, bruised calf or bruised ego. I'm not really sure if they could put that on a report, but that seems to be more of what is going on for that entire Dallas Cowboys organization. Jamie, you also have a couple of picks here that you want to get into. Tennessee Titans, you like this week? You got a 7-point teaser. Man, we are just look at what we're giving the people. This is just a special treat ahead of Christmas. So break this down, Jamie. Why are you taking these two?
The Detroit Lions are going to be without Matthew Stafford this week. They're the fourth worst rushing defense in the NFL, the sixth worst passing defense in the NFL. They're banged up all over. And the Titans are just going to roll. Derrick Henry's got a 2,000-yard season in his sights. He is really heating up right now, and the Lions haven't been able to stop anybody on the ground all year. Chase Daniel's a more than competent backup, but he's not going to be able to put up enough points to keep up with what Tennessee's offense is going to score in Detroit. So this is a pretty big spread, but I'm confident that the Titans just roll in this game and continue to pile up points. They're not a team that likes to sit on the ball or just be content winning by 7 either. So I'm going to take them to blow this one out. The other one is going to be a fun little 7-point teaser for all three. So if you do this on BetOnline, you'll get plus odds at plus 135. That'll bring the Titans line down to -4, the Rams down to -10, and the Steelers down to -6. I already told you why I like the Titans. I like the Rams to win, but 17 points scares me a little bit when their offense hasn't been doing a lot at home. So let me just bring that back down to 10. And then the Steelers should be in total FU mode against the Cincinnati team that's averaging a little over 10 points per game since Joe Burrow went down. So getting that line under a touchdown is all you could possibly ask for. So 2 bets there, one of them at plus odds, and I think they both will hit and win some money this weekend.
Yeah, I like it. I like the 7-point teaser there, Jamie. That's fun, and I anticipate the FU mode from that Pittsburgh Steelers team is going to happen. And if it doesn't, then we're going to have bigger issues to talk about with Tomlin and that Steelers team if they even keep it close to that very, very bad Cincinnati team. All right, 2-minute warning, end of the show. You guys each get a minute to discuss whatever it is that you want to discuss to end the show. So Jake's up first. You have a minute. Go ahead, Jake.
I mentioned it earlier, so pay attention to Jamie's stuff today, but go look at him this weekend before Sunday's games. The player props have been on fire. Like, I love this show. We do it on Thursdays and the lines change, but man, his player props have been absolutely amazing. Like, please go pay attention to those this weekend and get yourself some easy money there. He's been on fire. And I also want to mention arians.rivalsmedia.com. Come join us, make your picks again. Anything you can do to help. Make a donation, make your picks, have some fun, have a chance to win some awesome prizes, some memorabilia, those kind of things. Tickets, hopefully, to next year when the world gets back to normal. Or just check us out at ariansfamilyfoundation.com. Anything you can do to help. It's the season of giving, and we appreciate it very much.
All right, Jamie, I will echo what Jake said and take his last 15 seconds to say that you should absolutely sign up for the Arians Foundation event that they're doing. And after Jamie finishes, I will tell you guys about the giveaway that I am having of my own. Jamie, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of a couple of those things. One, a lot of these player props for the weekend come out late Friday night or Saturday, so that's why we can't talk about a lot of them on this show, but we are up more than a dozen units so far this season on those player props. So they're fun. They're plus odds only. It's a cool little twist on it. The other 2 things I want to touch on is it's the betting show. We have to talk about the bad beat of all time that happened to some of you on Monday Night Football. On a -3 spread, you think after all the ups and downs, the craziness of the game, all right, whatever, we're going to push and move on with our lives. If you had the Browns +3 and then the inevitable terrible safety on all these lateral attempts that are completely unnecessary at the end of a game, it's a brutal way to lose. We've seen this happen a couple times this year already. My heart goes out to you if you had any of those big bets on that. And my last point is keep in mind of the NFL schedule going forward. We've got 2 Saturday games this week. We've got a Friday and Saturday games next week. So the schedule is going to look a little bit different here to end the season. Don't forget to get your bets in.
Don't forget to get your bets in, and man, oh man, that was the bad beat Hall of Fame moment of all time. I felt so bad for Cleveland Browns fans that were in attendance there in general for the way that game ended, and then if they had that bet, there were a few of them that were in the stands that looked like they may or may not have won or lost a lot of money there. So sorry to you guys in that bad beat. But my final thoughts here is that I am doing another giveaway. I teased it last week. I got some pictures this week from what I'm going to be giving away. So please head over to my Instagram at @the_sports page, where I will be doing a raffle again for the Arians Family Foundation. So it'll be really easy to participate. All you're going to have to do is donate $1 for one raffle ticket. $100 donation gets 100 raffle tickets. So obviously the more you donate, the more opportunities you have to win. Pretty simple there. And there's no cap because we're trying to raise as much money as possible for the Arians Family Foundation. Pretty much every charity has struggled this year. They rely a lot on events, and that has obviously not been able to happen in 2020. So really trying to combat that with some of these more fun virtual giveaways that we're doing. So excited to do that again. You guys are really going to like the prize. Be sure to check that out at @the_sports page on Instagram. Guys, it's the end of the show. You know what that means? It's your opportunity to tell everybody how to follow you. So Jake, you're up first. How can everybody follow you?
At Arians NFL on Instagram and Jake B. Arians on Twitter.
And Jamie?
Follow me at Jamie Eisner on Twitter.
And you guys can follow me at @the_sports page with an I, both Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to follow our podcast at TDN Fantasy on both Twitter and Instagram, and you can see everything that we're doing, including those player props that Jamie talked about at thedraftnetwork.com over the weekend. Happy betting.